When El Reloj was built in 1910, newspapers called it the largest and finest cigar factory in all the world. It's a massive building built for 1,000 hand cigar rollers. And during the past 112 years, more than 1 billion cigars have been crafted inside El Reloj. My name's Drew Newman. I'm a member of the 4th generation of J.C. Newman Cigar Company. My great-grandfather, J.C. Newman, founded our family business in 1895. 4 generations, and more than 125 years later, we're still handcrafting cigars just like he did a century ago.
Going through our factory is like walking back in time. With modernization and technology and manufacturing in this country, we're making cigars here the same way my grandfather made them in the 1890s.
My great-grandfather, J.C. Newman, lived the American dream. He came to America with nothing but a vision and a dream that if he worked hard, that he could provide for himself and his family.
Grandpa J.C., when he started, his mother paid hand cigar maker, union roller, $3 a month for 3 years. So Grandpa J.C. started in 1892. 3 years later, he became a union journeyman cigar maker. He would make cigars by day and sell them at night. And he sold to the largest Cleveland wholesaler. The wholesaler gave him an order for 10,000 cigars. And Grandpa J.C. was so happy, he hired more hand cigar makers. He hired 2 or 3 more people to help him. And then he was on his way.
But the people that did not grow their own tobacco, the little guys, like Grandpa J.C., had to pay this fictitious high price of $6 a pound. There's no way we can compete with these guys. If we're going to stay in the cigar business, we have to find a niche of the cigar industry where the big guys aren't in. So Grandpa J.C. said, I want to get in the premium business. And in the early 50s, there's only one section of the United States making premium cigars, and that was Tampa, Florida. And at the age of 78 years old, he moved his whole operation from Cleveland to Tampa.
Here in Tampa, there wasn't really a Tampa before the cigar industry. In 1880, just 600 people were living here at the mouth of the Hillsborough River, and at that time, the cigar industry in the United States was headquartered on the little island of Key West. Quickly, the cigar factories realized that the fact there's limited land, transportation is difficult, and hurricanes come through almost every year made it not the best place to roll cigars. So Vicente Martinez y Bor decided that they needed to find a new place, and they realized that Tampa was the perfect place for making cigars. In 1885, they came to Tampa, and quickly, the rest of the cigar industry followed. And almost overnight, Tampa was transformed from a sleepy little village into Cigar City.
Tampa is to cigars what cars used to be to Detroit, or what wine is to Napa Valley. 10 large factories were making 500 million cigars using Cuban wrapper, Cuban binder, Cuban filler.
If your family has been in Tampa for more than a generation or two, chances are your grandmother, your aunt, your cousin rolled cigars, made cigar boxes, cooked lunches for the cigar workers. By 1930, Tampa was the largest city in the state of Florida, and there were more than 150 large cigar factories just like El Reloj here.
One of the luckiest, most fortunate days we had, Dad got a call from another Tampa cigar manufacturer, old friend of his named Carlos Fuente. Carlos had opened up a factory in the Dominican Republic in 1980, still had a factory in Tampa, but he wanted to close his Tampa factory, and he asked us if we'd be interested in making cigars in our factory. We started our relationship, him making cigars for us in 1986, us selling the Fuente cigars in 1990, and we're still partners this very day.
Since then, my grandfather knew that our family was focused on quality and perfection. We always want to try harder and do better to make the best cigars possible. And he passed that passion and commitment to quality and craftsmanship and the pursuit of perfection to his sons, my father and uncle, and to my cousins and me.
In 2003, we started to import cigars from Nicaragua, from another factory down there. Came out with a brand called Quorum. It was a bundle brand, and today is the #1 selling bundle brand in America. And became such a big part of our business, we were concerned we did not own the factory, that one of our competitors would buy the factory and they would either not make it for us or raise the prices so much that we couldn't afford to stay in that business. So in 2011, we opened up our own factory, J.C. Newman, Penza. Today we make 100,000 cigars a day.
Today, J.C. Newman proudly handcrafts premium cigars in 3 distinct factories. In the cigar city of Tampa, Florida, in our El Reloj factory, we make cigars by hand, like the American, and by hand-operated antique cigar machines that my great-grandfather bought in the 1930s. We hand-roll our Brick House, Perla de Mar, El Baton, and Quorum cigar brands using the finest tobaccos from the volcanic soils of Nicaragua. And with our partners, the Fuente family, Tabacalera A Fuente cigar factory in the Dominican Republic rolls our flagship Diamond Crown Classic, Diamond Crown Maximus, Diamond Crown Julius Caesar, Diamond Crown Black Diamond, in addition to Cuesta Rey and La Unica. America has such a rich cigar tradition that American cigar enthusiasts deserve a destination like El Reloj to experience the culture and the history and the legacy of American cigar making. A few years ago, we realized that our El Reloj factory in Tampa was the last cigar factory still operating in Cigar City. Because of that, we feel that it's our privilege and our responsibility to continue rolling cigars, but also open our doors and welcome visitors to experience the American cigar making tradition here in El Reloj. We invite cigar enthusiasts from around the world to come to the Cigar City of Tampa, Florida, to explore our 3-level cigar museum, to view historic cigar videos in our theater, and maybe even host a private event in the last operating cigar factory in Cigar City. El Reloj is the destination in the United States for cigars and cigar enthusiasts. Tampa is Cigar City. We feel that we have a responsibility to continue the cigar making tradition here in Tampa for another 4 generations and more than 125 years.